Ani Kilawea, Weekwamagan Schnabek, Bindigen. Welcome to the first ever virtual swearing-in ceremony for our Ogimaa and Council for the 2020-2022 term. And obviously, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we cannot gather as we usually do to honor our leaders. The wonderful thing about technology and our friends at First Tell, we're able to bring it to you all over planet Earth on the internet. So let's get things started. Naha Machtada. So we started this day this morning with a beautiful sunrise ceremony. I'd like to say a big chimigach to Alan Bisson for conducting that ceremony. This is our way, as we all know, in Anishinaabe Ozwin. Everyone was welcome to visit the Sacred Fire this morning. And anyone that had an opportunity to provide a congratulatory message or some words of wisdom to our counselors, they did it this morning via the video or guest book. It's going to be passed on to our leaders. Say Chimigwech to Red Man Singers for that beautiful welcome song and honoring our staffs and flags. And I'd like to call upon one of our local elders, Mr. Jerry Kaboni, who will say Namwes, an opening prayer. So Jerry Kaboni, John Mambi.
Amikach. To heaven that all. You were chatting me go can I go gish go. No, you go stand down. We should be young. Munda. W.U.T Ogimaa which our people were originally resided in this area, in a place we call Wikwankum, and we were a sovereign nation. Old people told me the story about our council. We used to follow a clan system. And from those clans, each clan had representatives that sat on the council. And we had these communities here. It was Kabanigan Konsi, Butonang, Banangum. What was on the chain? Napiukankum, Toganing. And they used to meet here in Wiki, and they used to call that the Grand Council, where the representatives from each of these communities came here and presented what their communities had concerns about. They told me a story about when they were being sent to residential school, the kids, and some died. And they showed me the school. And they showed me two little graves over there, in the graveyard. He says, remember these two little graves. He says, that's why we have schools here in Wiki. And they went there and got the kids out of school. And they brought them back home. And they said, we want to call our CMP on you. And they said, go ahead. But they still brought the kids home. And they built that school. And everything came from the community. People donated their lumber, their time, and their money. And when they used to go make a petition, they would go from house to house and they'd make a collection for the representatives to go. And they knew that what was given to them, sometimes it was the last thing that an old lady would have, they would give. And they honored that. And they didn't waste it. And we have to remember those things when you sit at the council table. That's what they call sovereign. They didn't ask the government for money or anything. They did it themselves. And they treasured everything that came from the people so they could do things on behalf of everybody. And everybody has an equal voice. Remember that too. When you think about all the communities that are around you, remember them, that they are the same. You are at the bottom when you're on the council, and all the people are on your shoulders, standing on your shoulders. You're not on top of them. And everything that you handle belongs to all of them. Remember that. And just these little things, if you remember those, when you make decisions at the Ogimaa there, remember those things. And this way. Tijamnado, Vika Chenman. Mandalunga, Jonaganagamakastick. No, Pibe Matsik. The Note non to the Gatenik, Pipe Shak Mirgastot. With the boat to the Mopi. We not get rid of the school. How the met to the cord here, the way in Kanagoya to Kedmat. The spread mat with the matsippen. Way in to not get red mode. Guy, Mop, the Chwe Benziuk. Way in a go to the wash go down. Me was can we go hippidic. We in a guia, no, I do end. We not connect to him to do, Nigon, the sound. Not to him to do the Brazilian mountain out of my wood. Not be here, if not going to give out. You just shouldn't go to the Brazilian. Then I met to. Now, I bought a Wabegijig. En te gijep Wabegijig was connected. Kan we go Wabegijig to no more now? Can we go get see? When the singer went out, when I done the chino, I will go to see. No more was out. Mava evening maybe out. Can we go Mava magic to him knocking in the question? Can we go away and not get wind down again? With the Mortish come. You know, the heavy schlocky out. Oder zu werden moin in die Bedeck. Maar van als op neem ik. Was is die uitpie? Kunnen we go die woord is de gade. Hij geeft ook. Geef ook je. Man daar we niet gedaan. Je weet go je kindergarten. You know, the geeft dan weer uit kiezen. Op de man opgekweeg. Wee ne. Dan nog het wind. Zo dat is het. In opschoolzie, dan mag ik doen dan. Nou, ik kom maar nou, ik kan er zo'n deentje bij me. Maar dan ga je iets komen doen. Een beetje massa in het kom ik. Oh, dat moet zijn. Maar je nou, ja, dat dan doe ik. Ze hebben het door zo'n afstand en we naar maken. Ja, als ik arbeid daar ging in het gies ook. We zijn dan nog echt naar maar wingen. En de gego. Omdat ik gewoon met de betek op ik maak aan. Nou, maar ik doe man nou. Nu gaan we als één agent. We hebben gezien met een agent uit mat. En met toe, maak het weer even weten. Toen had ik maar als dat zonde. Omnigut.
Jerry. Well, the mic keeps cutting out. Thank you for that, for bringing good thoughts together for our leaders. Animikwan, you guys can sit down now. Actually, no, stand back up. Okay, sit down. I was always told that if you get the audience to stand up and sit back down again, you got complete control. So, Animikwan, my name is Dwayne Animikwan. I am a proud band member of Wequipon Ceded Territory, and I've been asked to be your Master of Ceremonies for the swearing in of our 2020-2022 Council. And I think, like most of us, we can say that the year 2020 has been a year that we'll never forget. It's been a year of firsts for a lot of us. First time going through a pandemic since 1918, I believe, was the year. I think for a lot of us, today is our first time getting dressed up to go somewhere. And I know for me, the vest I'm wearing right now is the first time I actually fit it, because last time I wore it, I was swimming in it. And today's the first day that I actually wore pants. First day I wore pants since March. Been doing Zoom meetings in shorts. This mic keeps cutting out and it's reading my jokes. But we are doing a virtual ceremony today to keep everybody safe. And the only people that are in attendance here are our counselors, our Ogimaa, our speakers, our drummers, and our counselors' families. And the rest of you are joining us online, so welcome everybody. We're doing our best to keep you in. Oh, there you go. Ogimaa. We have to think about our people during this time because our language keepers and our youth and our next generation. I practiced this earlier. We are all in this together. And our celebration is looking a little different this year, but we are still celebrating together. We will begin by reciting the preamble from our Supreme Law, Chinakanagewan, and to remember who we are and where we come from and where we are going. This is a direct quote from the Chinakanagewan. We are Wikwemaganashinabek. Our home is Odawa, Manis, and surrounding islands. Our lands are unceded. We have retained these lands for our future generations so that we can continue to be Anishinabek. We have not relinquished any of our rights to any lands in the Great Lakes Basin to any nation. We continue to govern the water, air, and lands, and including islands as our ancestors since time immemorial. The Wikwemkwang Chinakanagewan will ensure the protection of rights both as individuals and as a collective. We choose our leaders who will serve our community and our best interests. Today they will begin this new term for 2020-2022 by taking the oath of office today. I want to call up one of our local elders, one of my mentors, one of my good longtime friends, Miss Phyllis Williams, to come up and give us some remarks.
Ani, Kenawaya. Ani. Nigisrat. Mandageni Anishinaabe Benakitma Minageni Besakto Amanda Kaminageni Win Mabate Benchiget Manda Dashnakitma Quen Magoa Gwanda Gabe Anin Wabegijig Kai Sheko Masinanik Kanundonanik Swigo Bidweze Desert Mi We Esheget Namen the Mageni Winakita Mano Gomanda Nuewin Wanda Quen Maing Okmisnanik Gemishrom Sinanik Geino Kibe Anken Magananik Manda Nuewin Esna Sakto da Manda Damina going Mida Shwe Geni Benagadende Metama Agungo Jim Zinegan Give a woman the scene, pick Cognigoa. Jibo Bakamagaboya was in the king. Ginon Dan Manda Nuewin Gimoston Yao Yang Manda the Shobin Snabe Mia. Ettemagat she nuewning. Mi manda bewin the magia. Mosh kingeni yao yang. Mi the skei no esepogosentma. Chinemosh toeg. En beach taig. Keno moi gegi no. Wanda gni jatsiok. Koshewak and Wabegijig Watan Kamikoya Eshikchitosit a young man the gate and Nuewin. So the Bagison sweat to the Kagi getting you go. You was about Bidashwe Bekish when the Ming gay wound in the gay win. Gay Naki Magatwe. About a moment go gay shed Temagat. Penema is been gay wooden Dachi man. Gun in the gay woo. P. Wokidian we Kidwin. Magaginim Kage. Me the sweat another Margot Maba. Gay. Up to walk Kentang Manta Nimewin. Mitäs mandassa geni, kesem koota seamba. Wim chicken a mingo manda zakto da manda nuewin. Kamin going. Asnagegi noe, kane antken mageme. Gehogegi noe kanagata nashin the king. Chi born in Rommen agsi. Aha, mitäs goe. Pitsa magatui kornigetonia. Miigwetch kapsin tuiek.
Miigwetch, Phyllis. Don't forget your Timmies. Pretty soon you just have to go to Little Current for that. So now I'd like to call up one of our youth representatives. I'd like to give the mic to Marcie Tabobondung.
Ali? Ali? 是啊 Ali? Janang Nodin Nishnabe Noswin. Marcie Tabobondung is my English name. So I'm here as a youth representative, and I sit on the youth council. So I'm here to congratulate and welcome all of our chief and council. And also I would like to say a couple words on behalf of the youth of Wikwemkong. So one of the things I want to say is that when making a decision, always have the love of our community and our future generation in mind. Don't ever be afraid to ask a youth in our community to come sit in and even ask for their opinion. Also, to continue to make sure our culture and language are a priority. Our youth really want to know who they are, and they're uncertain because they don't know their language, nor they don't know where to find where their culture is. Also, to be known for our youth, to go to the schools, to go to any youth events, because we don't know all of our counselors. And they need to be able to come to any of our counselor members to talk to them, to share their voice, share their opinions, and share their concerns. Also, let's empower our youth. Let's make sure that they have a voice in Wikwemkong. Let's make our youth proud to be from Wikwemkong, and also proud to be a Anishinaabe. And to encourage our youth to never be afraid to use their voice, and that it's okay to say their concerns or to say what they need. Also, let's protect our lands and waters, because more youth are starting to fish, to hunt, and harvest. And let's also try and bring those into the schools or programming, because those are things that I always hear from them. And let's change the wording of we are doing this for the youth to we are doing this with the youth, because we are the next generation of leaders. So we need you guys to begin to prepare us. And also, please remember that the youth and children are number one, and we are the future of Wikwemkong. Now, Chumigwech.
Chumigwech, Marcie. I don't know about you, but I really like that line about not doing it for the youth, doing it with the youth. I sometimes forget that I'm 40 years old. I still think I'm 20. No, I'm not only 40. Come on. It's been an honor for me to grow up in this community. I did leave for a while to pursue a career in broadcasting, and coming home, I realized the changes that happen after being away for about 5 or 6 years. The language is really strong. It's in our school systems, and the trees got a lot taller. I don't know if you noticed that when you leave for a couple of years, you come back, it looks more bushier. But thank you for those words, Marcie. So I want to introduce our Ogimaa and counselors for the 2020-2022 term. So they're going to be coming up one by one to recite the oath of office. So first, I'd like to call upon our first counselor, Mr. Daniel Wasengeso. Feel free to clap. He would recite it if we had it. Nancy, where are you? I thought it was in my package. Maybe it's the paper that we didn't put down. What do you got? Okay, look at that technology.
Ani, opportunity getting in the me, can number one be with Wikwemkong. Ni kenda na, abdeg wellne, we knock it again, we know, we knock the one, Zogedwin, Wekwad win, the Baden win, the Bok win, Akade win, Debwe win, we know, Menon Dendom win. Nin, Daniel Wasengeso, wellne Jitchige, Kashigamadugung.
Miigwech, Mr. Wasengeso. Stand by the pile on there. Next, I'd like to call up Councillor Joseph Wabegijig. I said it was a year first, and I think to my knowledge it's the first time we've had a councillor run for council. Didn't have actual residence on the reserve. He does live in Ottawa, but he's still going to be a great councillor. So Joseph Wabegijig. Miigwech. Ani. Opje gi kchinendma gi nagmugwang mampi Wikwemkong gi kendana abdek wewene we naknigeyang minwa we nagdwang zagedwin kwekwadzwin Debaden is win, Waka win, Akade win, Debwe win, Minwa Minaden the Moin, Nin, Zozep Wabegijig, Wewene, Ga, Jitchge, Ga, Jinagmikwan. Miigwech. Miigwech, Mr. Wabegijig. You can take your place there beside Mr. Wasengeso. The next councillor I would like to call up Mr. Robert Shawana. Yeah, there we go. I was waiting. I was going to say something.
chinenda me gi nagamego wang mampi wikwem kong. Gi kenda na abdek wewe neni naknege yang mino wi nagdo wang zagedwin kwekwadzuwin tebadedzuwin nebwakawin akadewin debwewin mino minadenemoin. Nin Ravi Shawana wewe nega chichigega jamanik jina migno ga jina migwa aha migwach.
Migwach Ravi, you can take your place beside Mr. Wabegijig. Next counselor I'd like to call up is Rachel Manitowabi.
Ani Apache Gitchinen Dame Inagame Wang Mampi Wikwem Kong Giken Dana Abadek We Wene Winak Nigeon Bino Winak Dwang Zagid Win Kwekwadze Win The Badendis Win Niboka Win Akade Win Debwe Win Bino Nadendmo Win Nin Rachel Manitowabi we nen gachichige gashi nagamegwa migwech.
Migwech Miss Manitowabi. Next counselor I'd like to call up Gladys Wakegijig.
아니 그네봐야 앞전 도치는 다음에 가신 나가마가 왕만 피위 컴컴 기캔다 나 아버데고 해내 위 낙나게 양 위너 위 나가동 는던 니쇼스웨 그네 마게 kedwenan Akadewin, Debwewin, Nodenwin, Sagedwin, Wekotsuwin, Nabokawin, Mino, Tabadendiswin. Nin Gladys Wakegijig, Wening Gashishige, Gashin Nagabegong, Migwech.
Migwech Gladys. Next counselor, Mr. Brian Peltier.
Abujo. Abjongi. Che. Nenvome. Inagmorong mon piwikwem kong. Sugar. Ikenda na. Wewe ne. We knock again. We know. We knock down. We zag it win. We caught to win. The bad end is win. Och det är win. Det boy win. Vi nominerar den moin. Nin. Jag get namnet. Brian Peltier. Och jag vet en gashetiga. Kanske något mer gång. Har mig gott.
Mr. Peltier. Next counselor I'd like to call upon Mr. John Dubé. You're getting a phone call, Ogimaa. So 1-888 number is all your creditors. Ah, nee.
Apche, je, chinandamen, ge, naga, name goang, mompi, we kom gong. Ge, kandanan, abdek, we ane, we, nak negen yong, minawa, dogowa, zogawin, wakwadzuin, de bodwa zuzin, nabwa kawin, akawin, dabwawin, minawa domowin. Nin, job dube, we ane, gijiga, ga, shana, gamoa. Miigwech.
Miigwech, Mr. Dubé, love the tie. I want one of those. Next councillor I'd like to call up Marcie Tabobondung.
Ani bojo, kinuia. Apajen gi chinendame, gi nagmong, mampi wikwamkwam. Gi kendana abdek wene, we knock nagayang, mino we knock dong. Zagidwin, kwekwadzuin, the bodendeswin, the bokkawin, akadeawin, debwewin, mino den moin. Nin Marcie, wene, ngajitchige, gajinakmong, yigach.
Miigwech, Marcie. Next up, calling upon Margaret Manitowabi.
Ani. Abje git chenendame gi nagmigong mampi wikwemkong. Gi kendana abdek wene we naknigang mino we nagdoang zagidwen kwekotsuwen the badendiswen nabokawin akdewen debwewen mino minaden mowin nin meshkugabwet sinikwe Margaret Manitowabi wewene ngashitchige kajan nagmigon miigwech.
Miigwech, Ms. Manitowabi. Next, I'd like to call upon Bernardine Francis.
Ani, bonjour. Observa l'abstinent de me, sendai gi nagamigong sendai pampo. Mi kenda nagya, abdek wewene. We knock the gyong, you know, we knock it on, zagwidin, backwards win. Debat dewezin, wakawin, wakadewin, debwewin, minoman, mina den damoin, nin Bernardine Francis, nawit the ton wewede. Kaja nangop na gong sa da miigwech.
Miigwech, Bernardine. Next councillor I'd like to call up Sylvia Reckley.
Ani. Obstacle nage chide nome gi nogde moam mampi wikwamkong. Gi kendana ma abdek wewene naknagewang. Meanwhile, we knocked the wall. So get win, Wekwatsa win, Debadens win, Neboka win. Okade win, Debwe win, meanwhile, Minoden the win. Nin, Joshkwe Nimkikwe, Sylvia Reckley, Wewene, Gazitchige, Ga Jinogamigwan, Miigwech.
Miigwech, Ms. Reckley. Next council I'd like to call upon Mr. Tim Ominika.
Apaje, geek chenendame, geek nagagumoang, mompi wikwankong. Geek and on obadek, wene, nagadayong, minoa, we nagadamong. Zagedwin, wekwatsawin, the bondenzawin, the bakawin, akadewin, debwewin, minoa, minom demowin. Nin, skolhigik, Timominika, Wene, Gajijige, Ka, Jiganaga Mongwang. Miigwech.
Miigwech, Mr. Ominika. Last but not least, I'd like to call upon our Ogimaa, Mr. Duke Peltier.
Ani kinawia. Nagi jigadna. Nasa enenama. After each enenama me, inagme gong ma piwi kwemkong. I kenda na abadek, wene we knock negeong, mena we knock dong, zagadwin, wekwadzwin, bokawin, batendezwin, akadewin, deboywin, mena not endamowin. Nigan was sagan of it, Duke Peltier, Wayne Gajijig, Gajanagmegwan, Kachimigwech.
Miigwech, Ogimaa. For those people at home, or for those people watching online and noticing that I don't have a mask on and we were passing a mic around, just want to let all of our counselors in Ogimaa know I recently tested negative for COVID-19 because I work in the school system, so don't worry, okay? So we have all of our council and Ogimaa sworn in. We want to honor them with a song. So I'll call upon the Red Man Singers to give us an honor song for our Ogimaa and council. Oh. Families, you're welcome to join your council members. If you want to stand behind them, you're more than welcome to do so. Miigwech, Redman. So we do have a few minutes left, and it's nice that the sun is shining because we're going to call upon our counselors to come up and say a few words to the community and to all those watching at home. So first of all, I'd like to call upon Mr. Daniel Watson-Gesso.
Miigwech. First of all, I'd just like to say thank you to Barbara and Kusman for nominating me, and for all those that voted for me. Miigwech. I'm looking forward to working with Ogimaa, the rest of the council this year. It'll be my first time on the council, so that's where work begins. Miigwech.
Miigwech, Miigwecho, Mr. Joseph Wabegijig. Some of us know him as the Raptor.
Ani Miigwech, and Miigwech to Bruce and the Trudeau for nominating me. Without them, I would have never thought I would ever run for council, to be honest, and it was an amazing experience campaigning in the community, and it was quite the challenge campaigning both remotely and during a pandemic. Being one of the I guess first off-reserve members elected to council is a great honor, and I'm glad to bring the experience that I've gained over many years, that I've learned through a lot of friends, family, loved ones, and excited to work with such an amazing council as well, and excited to work more formally with Ogimaa. And thanks again, both Mom and Dad, for everything you've done for me. And Miigwech.
Mr. Wabegijig. Robert Shawana.
Mom.
Used to introducing you singing a song.
Well, thank you very much. I just want to thank the community. I also want to especially thank my Aunt Terry, Sister Terry Beaudry, and also for Angela Dolcom for nominating me. This is my second time at the council table. Last time I was on council was 2014-2016. So I don't feel quite as nervous today as I did back then. I already know what I'm getting into, so it's but we're in really good hands. And I'm also glad to see that we're also got an equal amount of women and men at the council table, 6 men and 6 women. So it's we got some good equality there. I just want to thank everybody as well too. I've always helped out in the community as much as I can, and now I'll be able to help out even more again in another capacity. So I want to thank my wife Denise as well, and also my mother Annie for being here, and my nephew, and for all of you over here today too. Naha miigwech kanagoya.
Miigwech Robbie. Rachel Manitowabi.
Ani kinawea idin mekodem nangwa nagijigat wanongwa nagijigat Ogimaa king. Thank you to everyone today. Miigwech and Mage Wabegijig Nido for helping to bring us here together safely, and ask Creator to keep us safe as we go into the community. This will be my 3rd time on council. I'd like to say thank you to the community for asking me to continue. Mandawi's na long Just kidding. So to my nominators, I want to say miigwech to Karen Shawana as well as Eugene Kimoan. Eugene is here today to help to support me, as well as Elder Phyllis. So miigwech to them for coming out. And of course I have to say miigwech to my brother Wilson, my nephew Oscar, as well, for coming out. I also have to say thank you to my parents for, I think, equally teaching me one half of who they are to help contribute to the community. We nishna bemya, kino madwinin ye no gabani, kino mo going, not just myself but my family. And so in my mom's quiet way, I'll just share a quick story. One of the stories that I thought really captured being Anishinaabe, especially being in Anishinaabe, we were watching TV one day, and I asked her, I said, do you ever look at all these kids and wonder, amazed at how many lives started from one person, like your grandma and your great-grandma? And so I was looking at her, and she was watching TV, and I thought, maybe she didn't hear me. And after a few more seconds, she put her hands together and she looked at me and she just said, Minkan. I said, okay, which is a good teaching. If you know about berries, they can just spread everywhere. And that's how she talked about families and lives spreading that way. So in this next term, I'm hoping that we can follow that teaching and to spread to our people. Maba Phyllis Tabobondung, we Anishinaabe Miyang Pone. Moshkin, if we have that, we know we could doing we Nedge Anishinaabe Miyang in Sigishguk. Miigwech and W.U.T. Mandagidinoil Nino, Shopjin Zokdon. I try every day to speak it as much as I can, and I try to teach not only my children in my own home, but also to my nieces and nephews and any little child that I would see in my everyday life. So, miigwech kinawea, and I'd like to say miigwech to my fellow counselors ahead of time for what we will have is, I believe, a very productive and a unified council. Now, miigwech.
Miigwech, Miss Manitowabi, Gladys Wakegijig.
Miigwech, honey, kinawea. Miigwech kanin na nakonda na nagmerso tumpi we ni tage age ni minosh kinawea na gabe shakabiget. Miigwech dikit ke gibeshat tumpi ni messe which gabi tojet. Minosh manda geden me bana joge ni no chinen dan manda. Mandan na nanom yagi jinagi sakne gade magat noe when ga megesh ne kadek kondashko echa pizza jeg mi konde machish ka tot manda we no ne kita da na en sigishkak ka wet go big en sigishkak begishik binish ni jabon ni manama mi di dashkop dem ga kwe abdeksko mi no windom jiga dem ga shonya we abjub dem ga kwe. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to say thank you to the individuals that nominated me and for my sister for being here with me today, standing beside me. Regarding the language, it is a priority in our community, and just as recent as this summer, the community opened up a house called Noewingamik. And that Noewingamik is led by the elders of this community, the fluent speakers. And those fluent speakers are speaking the language every day, all day, until before Christmas. And I would like to say and acknowledge the elders, the fluent speakers of this community of Jugunishin, Chimigwech. Thank you.
Miigwech Gladys. Mr. Brian Peltier. John Mumpy.
Honey, anyone, we got you out on the Mr. Gany, Manenjia, one look in a lot of shot we edge. What the army knows you get on in our way. We got chalk anyone that she go down, you see any no then down. Look where we don't go stand up. Jimmy watch. Jimmy watch, can the one look here, he gets a jick. Can one look I will no more chick. A guy, don't know him, chick, no gag. We watch you all any gag. We know gag, need a cook a chick. Rosalind, no man on Joe. We got chalk, no gag. I go, no to go there, no coming. We can't go sing me go. Up to no do go there. La Pasha me, no. The kindje gig, not the mal gig. And then, yeah, net tegen. We go main. You and then, she can eat like, we can water. Well, then we knock a dog one day, it's now we are doing. In the mud is out. When they get a snow, when Marcie Tabobondung, they go there, good consing. La Pasha mote. Was in Dodge Gigi no. We just get no on the car. Can I check computer on Gigi no? We don't cost check. We don't cost them Gigi no. Yeah, we'll not come back. We can't make Gigi no. In the couple company we come. No, hot Jimmy Gotch.
Miigwech Brian. Mr. John Dewey. Kintam. Ani Kinawe. Just want to thank the people that did nominate me this term. So I just want to say Chimigwech to Marcie Tabobondung and Angela Cooper. I also want to say thank you to my family as well. Without their support and sacrifices, like I think all our families sacrificed quite a bit, but I want to thank them for supporting me over the years. This is going into my 5th term now, and when I did start this, I really wanted to do it just because I want to think, forward thinking and thinking about the future and thinking about my children. And unfortunately, due to COVID, only half of my kids are here. But I really sat down and spoke with them, and what they want to see in the future and whatnot. And I really want to thank my wife and my children and my daughter. My daughter Zahara gave me a big list this term. She goes, I want you to do this. So she's got a big list for me, and I want to thank them for all the years of sacrifice and whatnot. And there's long meetings that we have and a lot of work that we have to do. So I just want to say Chimigwech to that, and I want to say Chimigwech for everybody for putting me here. To the community only about 11 years ago, and when I got in, a lot of people still didn't know who I was, but I think over the years that we've got to know each other, and I do love this community, and I do want to do the best that we can to move forward. And I want to thank our council. Congratulations to our council as well. I'll stand behind you as best as I can. I'll work for you, all of you, as best as I can, and the Ogimaa as well. So, Chimigwech, everybody. We'll talk soon. Miigwech, Mr. Dubé. You are making a name for yourself with that Rainbow Ridge sandwich. I would like to try that one day. Marcie Tabobondung next.
Miigwech, Dwayne. I also want to say, first off, is just miigwech to my nominators, Barbara and Kusman. As well, just carrying on the same message that the other councillors have said, it's a lot of work and a lot of time committed to hold these roles, and we can't do it without our families. So I want to say Chimigwach to my family, as well as everyone else's families, for the time that you give at the council table, as well as to Ogimaa and his family. I also wanted to just share that I think all of us at the council table are committed to advancing the shared interests of our community and maintain that health and safety in our community is a common interest of ours, and that's something that we'll all remain committed to, as well as navigating our way safely through this global pandemic for the betterment of our community, maintaining the values that we hold as an Anishinaabe here in Wikwemkong. That includes our language, being able to speak Anishinaabe, our culture, our songs, and all those things that we value and we share. I'm not going to take too much longer, but thank you to all those who came out to vote, and Miigwech for believing in my strengths to sit at the council table. Miigwech.
Miigwech, Marcia. Margaret Manitowabi.
Ani miogeni na sap ekdang Chimigwech wendam ye mavana Angela Shawana Cooper ginag minosh na Karen Dosh. This is my 11th term, and I did 2 terms. I took a break, so I'm looking forward to this last term for me, because I really want the young people to start being involved in leadership, and I've enjoyed working, and I'm so gichinenda mamikwendam that we have a really good Ogimaa, and we needed that for a long time, to have somebody for the long run, so we can work on these strategic plans. We have a lot of strategic plan. Every department has one, so we hope to move ahead, and we have our youth council and our elders. We not among we kedot geno, and then mort we share bakshanda mapi we kwemko. Mino manda na jimshkike kinon donem abjugo manda ni bashkaji kagem gachanda shkonaganing. Abdeko ni gego quinta shchkeme nango na how Miigwech.
Miigwech, Miss Manitowabi. Next, Bernardine Francis.
Ani Miigwech ma wale devenchket min kinogachn da gabishet totkin. Abjugeni nakchinen dum gi kwach me go mi noi mod be ashanda we not ma ya we kwempong de boy go ye ma va kedat tish mandam jish ke keshan de everything of the koge ya of the ko she we mi kmana e she bakshanda abjugo we saw them ko bino chi teni mo ya wanda anan I can see now is it out me, and I'd like to say thank you to the Creator for this day, and also thanking the community again for supporting this Ogimaa, all the councillors here. And I'm excited to work with our new councillors that are at the table, Miigwech, for, putting your name out there. Miigwech.
Miigwech, Bernardine. Sylvia Reckley next.
อ
Honey. So I'd like to say miigwech to my sister Roxanne and her husband Ted for nominating me. I'd like to say miigwech to the community that came out and voted and supported for me to sit at the table. This is my third term. I really like that our table has fluent speakers. For myself, that'll help me to learn when I sit and listen to them at the table. And I try to pick up the language that I can, and really appreciate the guidance that I get from our leaders at a table that have the language. And through humility, I don't take offense when I have to get corrected on my language. That's how we learn. And so I say miigwech to our fluent speakers around our table, and to continue to guide us young ones, I'm young, with the language. And I just wanted to say miigwech for being there and being my role models. Miigwech.
Miigwech, Sylvia. I'm young still too. Mr. Tim Omanika.
Miigwech, Dwayne. Well, I'd just like to say miigwech to my mother and Kusmam. They nominated me this term, and I told my mom, don't nominate me. I said, just let it go, see what happens, and she went ahead and nominated me. But I'm very happy, and I love doing what I do for our community. This is going to be my fourth term. I started in 2014, and at that time, let my name stand way back then, and not really knowing what I was going to be getting into within the political realm within our community. I was very fortunate to be sitting around the table, and there's still a lot of the council members that are still here from 2014, and learning from them and getting all that guidance, and from Ogimaa, listening to him and getting supported by other council members around our table made it not easier, but made it more comfortable for myself to voice and use my voice, and use that for the betterment of individuals that are hearing within our community. Was able to quickly understand the challenges we were having, and watching and listening to our council and our Ogimaa, and so much knowledge he has in which he would be sharing and just carrying on from our previous Ogimaas. And he's continued to do that work for us and giving us guidance as we move forth, and we're working towards everybody here. It's very difficult, I could say for myself, when you're sitting there, because we put a lot of time and effort, and we know it's very challenging and stressful on our families. I love doing this work for my two boys who are autistic, and they require a lot of support. And I'm very grateful that my mother's there to help me with my children and my young daughter. And this is where we see this is the work we are doing this for, is for our youth, our adults, and our children. And about the language, I'm still learning. When I first started in 2014, I remember my friend Ogimaa said, just listen and don't be afraid to ask questions. And we heard that from another one of our council members. You ask those questions. That's how we learn. And the more we listen, the more we are able to learn more. And we're all going to be working together. I could share with the community that our leadership around this table, we're all in the best interest for everybody, and everybody has their special traits that sit around this table. And we are going to all do it for our community members to make this better. And with that, I'd just like to say miigwech for this beautiful day. First time ever doing this. I'd like to say miigwech to our Emcee and our drum, our elders, and everybody watching. Say miigwech, and we're going to do the best for you for this term. Miigwech.
Miigwech, Mr. Omanika. Last but not least, I'd like to call upon our Ogimaa, Mr. Peltier.
Miigwech Dwayne, miigwech Kanawea, miigwech Wage, Igdoninok, Igdoninuk, miigwech Wage, Ode Nogden Dong Odeshkode, Kijeb Giskene Tono, Pogan Gizasonan, Semagi Nindain, Inindajgadek, Kinwanje, Nidwenje, Mandan Nangwa, and Kamgizing. Windima King. We be wet waters, we have what time I got to the Skode. He's been getting on doing me. We bit the egg sama. Big wet waters and key Tigajik. Mumpy Nangwa, not my Gajik. We managing Nangwa. Big wet wagi, Mandy, Noala, Nancy. Amagi, Gigdon and it. Dwayne, Skinoe, and I come to Gijig. Oh, the gay we tempt on the Oxy when the Bimbedek. Me wet when them this kind of gay, no, we quimcon and oak, quimconi and quilk. Gaje Nagme work, Nanduk. Animikwan. Chapiten agot, Monday in Nakiat. Bang with Nakiok, Chicken Dasok, Igidok, Bumbocheat, Nakiat, Kinegego. Miigwech with them dish. So I want to offer my thanks to the community for coming together here today and allowing for this gathering to take place. We have to thank our firekeeper and the pipe carrier this morning that assisted our council in planning this day and offering those thoughts and prayers for setting forth on this next term of our council. Offering that sema, providing those teachings, those morning teachings. And when we talk about sharing our ways with the young ones, anytime these kinds of ceremonies are taking place, don't be shy to bring your children. It is open. Some of the counselors mentioned some of the lodges that are here in the community. Currently there's a Sundance going on. Medewan ceremonies. We have these language nests. There's plenty of opportunity for culture, language. But we do have to participate. We have to make that effort also. You have to go look for it. It's not going to fall out of the sky. And I've shared with the elders and the language speakers last week when we were here at Thunderbird Park talking about the programming, language programming. And that was one of the messages that I shared with them was we have to encourage our people to go out and visit. Go to the kitchen tables where the language speakers are. Knock on their door. It doesn't have to be formal. It doesn't have to be in an educational setting. It doesn't have to be in a building somewhere run by the band. Many of the language speakers here will talk about that. They didn't learn it through formalized curriculum. They learned it through in the homes, around the kitchen table. pi kwejmego wi jaganashimya. I always remember those types of, when we're talking about teachings. Those are teachings. There's nothing mysterious about teachings. A lot of these things are common sense. Bokkawan. So I want to thank all the people for their participation in electing a well-rounded council. Look around at each member. They each have their skills. They each have their expertise. And most of all, they have their heart in helping the community. That's very evident. Always has been in my, I don't know how long now, my 14 years on council so far. So I'm almost getting close to half my life on council. And I'm young, Dwayne. But I was at the graduation the other 2 days ago here with the high school graduates, and I was the elders some of them who passed down already. I was thinking about them that day when I was being introduced, and they used to, when I used to go to the Mikok and visit with them, they used to be real happy and they say, "Animikwan." Then I was introduced at the graduation as Ogimaa, so I don't know what happened.
You got older.
I got older. And apparently some councillors say that they get gray hair after sitting on council. Hasn't happened to me yet. No coloring here. Probably just jinxed myself. But I do have to thank all the council members, both past and present, for all of their work and the work that you're going to continue doing. And most of all, your families, because of the sacrifices that you make in allowing your partner, your son, your daughter, nephew, niece, uncle, for them to participate in ensuring our community progresses. And I say progress because that is what our goal has always been. We continue to adapt, we continue to be resilient in spite of everything that's been thrown at us. In spite of all the barriers, in spite of all the challenges, our people have always found a way. And we'll continue to find a way. Whether it's me or you, but the council will always find a way as long as the community is supportive. And support means coming out to the meetings. When you see those invitations, come out. We might have some differing opinions, but there's nothing wrong with dialogue. That's where we get that Debwewen, Wokawen, Nadendemoin. That's where those teachings come in. But we have to come together. So I encourage everyone to continue to participate, whether it's in elections or when you're being asked to bring your thoughts in surveys or whatever it is that you're being asked. Make an effort. Help us out. That's all we ask, because we're here to put in the work. We've been asked to put in the work. We've been given that vote of confidence for the next 2 years. And I know with certainty that every single one that's been elected here, that is their objective, to give it their all for the next 2 years. Because that's what they're being asked of by our people, and that's what we'll continue to do. So Chimigwech, Kinawea, Wayne, Mamapi.
Miigwech Ogimaa. So that brings us to the end. So I'd like to say chimigwech to our Wikwamkong administration staff for putting this day together. It is a day that we celebrate and honor our leaders, and although it is a little different, we are doing this virtually online, and there is no audience here. It is just our council members and their families. So, and I want to thank all of those who have contributed to this day. Those at the entrance who screened and counted and provided security, Chimigwech Shore Security, the caterer, our photographer, the Wikwamkong Heritage Organization, the Wikwamkong Health Center. So on behalf of the community, first of all, I just want to say on behalf of myself, and I think I speak for the rest of the community, for the council that was on previous term, you guys were faced with an unprecedented time, and I think the actions that you guys took kept our community safe. And I'd like to thank the community for abiding by what we thought was the best, or what you guys thought was the best, and I thought it was the right decision. I think if it does happen again, you guys will be put in a tough position, but let's hope and pray that the next year or two will not be like the last 6 months. So on behalf of the community, and on behalf of the Ogimaa Council, and big thanks to Firstel for live streaming it. We got Kyla and Gordy here, we got Leon. They were busy setting up the internet here at the ballpark, so chimigwech to all of that. And again, on behalf of Ogimaa Council, I am Dwayne Animikwan, Bawampi Wikwamkong.
Ani Dana Amanika and Adijakas came down here to sign the guest book to say congratulations, but it wasn't here, so Gordy got me to do a video message to say congratulations. So congratulations, Ogimaa, Peltier, and councillors, and congratulations to the new councillors on board. And looking forward to a prosperous term. Miigwech.
아니, 우리가 지금까지 위kwamkong pinbenjaba, TV shendandera. Chungi chimiga chendam mongondana mawachi, meno councillors piri ina kabego azatne, winigan jadmon pish konagani. Takmande pitazak tosh konagat, memdegega. I want to say congratulations to Chief and Council. I wish you all the best, and I hope community members work with you. As I want to say congratulations. Chimiwech, Wamapi.
bonjour. Dwayne Washington District, Dwayne Windewa. Jimmy Wetch, all the Chief and Council of Wabegijig, Hamigwech.
Ani, bonjour. Congratulations to the new Chief and Council, especially to the new ones that are on their first term. I'm wishing you the best to upcoming 2 years. Miigwech.
Ani bonjour. Bimshkujechi Chakdishnakas. Nishnabe Dawa Ndao Makwadodam. At this time, I'd like to extend my deepest congratulations to our new and upcoming leadership for this term. I wish you all the best. I support you, and if you need anything, feel free to give me a call. Nahamigwech.
Congratulations to Chief and Council from CANCOM Security. Ani, Wayne Piton Kudnishnik Gas, Wikwamkong Dundrawa, Murray Hill, Satellite Community in Nikia. Congratulations to Chief and Council on the upcoming term. Wish you all the best. Miigwech.
Ani, Margaret Manitowabi Dishnakas, Wikwamkong Dundrawa, Esto the Sigo Kaboning Bit Kokanago, Murray Hill Snagondeda. And congratulations to Chief and Council here in Wikwamkong 2020. And for the 2 years upcoming. Miigwech, Denak.
Ani Kanagoya, Chuck Peltier, Cause. I'd just like to say congratulations to the newly elected Chief and Council. We're going to have a great term this year, and hopefully business runs good. And we'd like to say from Firstel, thanks for the organizers for selecting Firstel to do the live stream. Now,
good morning. I'd just like to wish Chief and Council the best in the next 2 years for our community. I also like to say congratulations to the new councilors that are on board to help our community move forward. And I will sign the guest book and say miigwech for being part of Wakwamakan. So let's move forward, let's be strong, and let's continue the fight that we need to put up with. Okay, miigwech, nahabama.